This video is going to show you how to easily beat the solo Grandmaster Nightfall this week, which is the Corrupted. So let's go over the modifiers and the surges. So the featured modifier for Corrupted, for those who haven't played it yet, I'd already played it before this week. Class Warfare. Using class abilities increases your fire team's damage output, reduces incoming damage whilst active. The damage resistance you get from this is 25% damage resist, and you get a damage buff of 10, 15, 20%. It stacks up to 3 times. Mainly on a Warlock, you're only using one class ability at a time, so you're only going to get the 10% buff, maybe 15 if you really use a Rift build, but it doesn't matter. This is a pro modifier, so we don't need to worry about it too much. It's just a damage bonus on top of everything else for us, which is nice. You could utilize this a little bit better on a Hunter. Hunter mains, think about how you could utilize it. I already have an idea about how you could. But you think about it, how can you get more class ability buff on Hunters? Because it stacks 3 times, as I just told you. Surges are Arc Surge, Void Surge, Arc Fret is on, Champions are Overload and Unstoppable, Chill Touch, all the regular GM mods. So this is my build that I'm going to be showing to you now. I got criticised by using this build on Birthplace of the Vile. This is not Birthplace of the Vile, this is Corrupted, so I figured I would do it again and showcase this Starfire Second Filament build on Prismatic Warlock and show you it on a regular GM, because I haven't done that yet. I haven't showed you it on a regular GM, and this is technically a regular GM, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. For people who do not have Velocity Baton, why don't you have it? If you don't have it, go and get it. It's very important. In the meantime, if you can't be bothered to go and get it, then here is a replacement build for you. And if you ask me about replacements, I will timestamp you. This is your replacement, Lost Signal. And this pulse rifle in particular is very good in Corrupted. Right, Anik is obviously very good in this. You could use Microcosm, you could use Dragon's Breath, right? You can even use Queenbreaker. I showed you the Queenbreaker run a few weeks ago. That's the alternative replacement build, Rhymecoat Rymant. Those are your replacement weapons, but that's not what we ran. We ran our Starfire build because I'm pushing this build a lot, right? And I want to do it in a regular GM. So as I've stated to you, right, Sacred Filaments offers Devour via a Rift, which means you can run any other aspect you want. You don't need to generally use Devour, because Devour's king. Well, with Filaments, it means you don't need to run Devour, and Starfire allows you to spam nades back to back. And you get empowered weapon damage, which is a 20% buff. Does not stack with Radiant, but Radiant only lasts 5 seconds on Prismatic, so it's still an upshot. Do you understand? Because a Rift, an Empowering Rift, is longer than a 5-second Radiant. It's only 5 seconds. 25% buff on Prismatic. So this allows you to open up stasis builds. I've been saying to you, this is the best stasis build in the game, apart from Rhymecoat Rymant. Rhymecoat Rymant is the only build that's better than this, just because of Hail of the Storm, really. But apart, if we were to forget about that, this is the best stasis turret build. Because you can run double turrets, right? OP. Are we all understanding that Solar Turret is stronger than Arc Turret? Okay. Getaway Artist, I haven't even got it on me. I have. Getaway Artist is so 2024. It is not. Solar Turret is better than Arc Turret. Are we all aware of this? You should be. Because I'm sick of hearing about people saying about Getaway Artist. It's so old now, that build. It's very old, outdated. This is much better than that build, because this allows you to have much more damage in your kit. Not to mention Starfire, the Spirit of Starfire works with Song of Flame. It works with Transcendence, and it works with Bleak Watcher. It works with all of those elements. Neutral game, Transcendence and Super, all of it. On every level, anytime you Rift, Nade, no matter what, whatever state you're in, it will work. It even works with Song of Flame, as I've said. So Song of Flame is the super choice, right? We've got Empowering Rift, obviously, Arcane Needle, Storm Grenade, Bleak Watcher, Helion, the Solar Turret, which, yes, it is stronger than Arc Soul. It is a stronger. It's got more range than Arc Soul, for starters. Right, it's just more damage than what an Arc Soul is. Arc Soul's more ant clear based, Helion's more single target based, but Helion will do ag clear stuff as well for you. Facet of Dawn for a radiant buff, right, which is 25% buff. Facet of Balance for ability energy. That's very important to my turret build because we want good stat distributions and ability energy back. Facet of Hope for more class ability energy. This is also very important to my build because we want to keep rifting. The part of this build is to keep rifting. Facet of Courage for a damage bonus for Song of Flame. Facet of Dominance to buff Transcendence, Freeze and Singularity Grenades because they are a void nade, so you can debuff enemies with the Prismatic. And Facet of Awakening for a plus 10 free resilience, and it gives you an elemental pickup, which is kind of nice, right? This is very good. It allows me to run my triple 100, which, as I said to you, is important in this, because if you have less discipline, it's less turrets. If you have less recovery, it's less rifts. And you need tier 10 resil as a prerequisite anyways, no matter what build that you do ever. So that's what I'm saying. The stat distribution is so much more important. That's why I run a plus 10 free resilience fragment there. We pair that with Outbreak Perfected because it does damage over time and works with Starfire Protocol. Spirit of Starfire. Velocity Baton, as I've already said. We're using Edge, Transit, Bait and Switch. Mods are on screen. I'm not going to go too much into that. Just note that I had Special Ammo Finder and that helped me out massively in this. But yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it. Utility Kickstart build for more rifts. That was ultimately what we ran in this. So as soon as we start the run, you want to charge your turret immediately. Get a stun on the Overlord. We're going to get a rift arm as well. And we're just going to do some outbreak damage. Pay attention the entire run of my ability energy. Look, I've just got my turret back. Right? The Scorn guy is taken care of. The Overlord, that is. So there's only three things should I say, that you need to do at this start section. You need to kill the Scorn Overlord and the Taken Overlord, right? Now, clear out some of these raiders, because they will ambush you if you don't. But then what you can do is take care of the Overlord before the Overlord goes to the bridge. Do not let the Overlord go to the bridge. So you want to do a bait and switch combo on him to kill him quickly. Because if you kill the sniper, the Overlord wants to jump off that island to the bridge, which means you're going to kill some of the acolytes, which means you're going to spawn in another Overlord. You don't want that to happen. If you can help it, you don't want it to happen. If it happens, you're going to have to kill that extra Overlord, by the way. This was a Platinum rank run. I'm just showcasing to you, telling you, look, if you don't kill any of the acolytes, you don't get the second Overlord spawn in. Are we all understanding on that? Now you just want to kill the guy at the back of the map. That is it. We're 1 minute 30 in and the starting section is done. Like I said, this is a Platinum rank run. We didn't skip any champs that spawned, but we technically did skip a champ. But he hadn't spawned in, so it doesn't count for the game. Understand Platinum rewards. If it says a champion has appeared on the bottom left-hand corner, you've got to deal with that champ. There's only certain GMs where you can skip one champ and get a 3 ticket and still get Platinum rewards. But that is GM dependent. And Corrupted has been buggy over the years with Platinum rank. Don't take chances with it. Just kill all the champs at face value. The ones that spawn in at least. Less you'll probably get gold. There's a lot of people getting gold ranks because if you skip at least one champ, sometimes there's a chance of that. It's not 100% clear with the Platinum rank thing, for Corrupted at least. So, we want to scan the ghost, and this is the elevator section. Get a turret down, then a rift to activate Devour, of course. We're going to do some Devour chain killing, and we're going to get another turret. Look, we've got another turret. We just used it. We've got another one. Put another one down. Then you can do the exploit where you pick up the ball from the back of the tower thing, and you can use this as cover, you see. Now, if you take any shields off any of the phalanxes, kill them, then move to the next one. It takes 2 balls to take them out, some of them. Just depends on how good your ball is for tracking where you want it to go, because sometimes it'll track another target. But we have a Bane as well, which it was a shock Bane phalanx. Now we just have the Centurion, which we're just going to mow him down with Outbreak. Outbreak performed exceptionally well in this. Remember, because of Starfire, when you do empowered weapon damage in a rift, you get ability energy back. When we stand in an Emp rift, that is empowered damage. Yes? Any damage that you do with your guns in a rift, you've got to stand in that rift though. You can't move out the rift. Alright, so, you know, there is that. But you will, like, pay attention to ability energy. Now, we pop a Transcendence here on this phase because it's very important that we clear out all those Scions. Get some freezes on those immune shielded phalanxes, because even though they're not damageable, they are freezable, look. So we can control them, right? We can still control them there. We get frozen here, or chilled by that weird thing. We've still got Transcendence Nade there, so we froze them again. That allowed us to throw more balls whilst the phalanxes were sort of confused. Now, if you get a Drain Bane here, it is a lot harder, right? My run previously, I got a Drain Bane here, and it was like, kind of sketchy, man. You've got to probably super the Drain Bane. In this case, I got a Shock one, which is what you would hope for. Either Shock or Mines. Right, now we use a super here because we've got 2 of the targets taken down their shield. So basically we've took out both targets with a super, just about. We've had a good use of a super there. So now we need to do map rotation. Remember with the elevator section, it's not too bad. Just remember to map rotate. Right, when it's too dangerous, rotate round, go to the other side of the map, pick a ball up and keep rinsing and repeating. Look, this guy's still shielded. The ball will always track the target you don't want it to. So when you isolate a target away from other targets, that's beneficial if you can do that. Because that means your ball will hit the intended target. So we'll get a turret down, a rift. This phalanx is being stunned in a awkward place, but he's taken care of just about. The knight is just about killed anyways. So yeah, that wasn't a bad elevator run. Like I say, if it is a Drain Bane, focus on more map rotation and focus taking down the shield off the Drain and then using a super. That you need to always prioritize a Drain Bane if you get one. So now we've done that section. Pay attention to ammo, right? Is there any heavy behind us? Think about that. Special and stuff. So we get an Emp Rift. Then we're going to stand in that rift. We rift a corner, right? Always, like if you're going to be rift builds, try and practice where you would rift best. And it is best to rift a corner because you can strafe left and right to avoid damage, Look at how many Transcendence Nades we are getting as a result of standing in the rift when we was. Our rifts ran out now, but before we was getting good ability energy. Because look, we've taken care of the Unstop and nearly both the Knights and all the ads. So we're going to push up now to the Shrieker. Now I'm trying to exploit him because you can do that. It is RNG dependent if that happens. So basically we can open him up where he does not shoot back at you. This is finicky. If the Shrieker starts rotating, you've got to go left. So what I do is I just tilt back and left to the wall until, you know, like that. But what I ended up doing instead of trying to exploit the Shrieker, I just put a turret down and then melted him that way because the turret will slow down the attacks off the Shrieker. Shrieker's melting this, make no mistake. It is arc threat. It doesn't matter that it's arc threat though. Shriekers, ogres always melt. Void is notoriously a bad element to fight against, whether there's a threat on or not. They do a massive amount of damage, does void damage. Either it be unstoppable ogre or Shriekers. So we'll take down this last knight. Now we need to think about ammo. So I'm going back to the elevator section. Don't rush it. If there's heavy back there, go and pick it up. Like I'm using Edge Transit, and it's something I'm going to be spamming. Well, not spamming, but we'll use it in a very meticulous way where we'll only use it on like key targets. That's generally what this is for, right? This Edge Transit. It's not used for us to spam it per se. We don't need a spammy weapon because Outbreak and Velocity Baton will do everything for me. So all I need is just some extra DPS in my heavy slot. Which on my run before this I ran a machine gun and I felt I wasn't using my machine gun much. So I was like, alright, let me run this back, let me pick a different heavy. So I was like, what heavy could I use? And I was like, oh, I'll just use Edge Transit. And it worked a charm. Which it will because grenade launchers are meta in Destiny 2 right now, so I'll just pick, you know, I'll just pick Edge Transit. We don't need Ad Clear. The build's got enough Ad Clear. Outbreak's doing it all. We've got Debuff, with Concussive Reload, we've got Radiant, we've got Emp Rift, we've got Helion, we've got Stasis Turret. We've got so much. We've got Outbreak Nanites, we've got Starfire working with the Nanites. With the nanite damage, that is. So Starfire will work with any DOT weapon that you can think of. Osteos Trigger, Dragon's Breath, Anarchy, Witherhoard, Eridian GL, like the one I've got on. Any DOT, Fawn, it'll work with anything. It doesn't matter. What matters is if you stand in the rift and do empowered damage. That is the key thing. I've had a couple of comments about what empowered damage means, and empowered damage just means you standing in your rift. Empower and rift, people, that's what it's called. I guess because all of you run a heal and rift, you have never run an empower and rift in your life. I don't know why you haven't run it. Yeah, heal and rift's very important to the game, especially in solo, but obviously my build doesn't need the healing, right? Because I've got healing anyways with Devour. So yeah, I'm just here to explain what Empower and Rift does, because there's a lot of Warlocks are just not understanding, especially newer Warlocks understanding what Empower and Rift does. So we use a super here because we may as well, and we don't need it for anything right now, not for a bit. And these Shriekers take up time in the run. They do, because you've got to open them up, shut them, open them up like this. So they do, they take time. So that's why I use a super there, just to get, you know, through it a little quicker. Let's pay attention to ammo drops. So we're max on special. Heavy we're not, but we've got enough. We're healthy-ish on it. We just want to now get another turret, and we'll get it. Whenever you turret, always back it up with a rift. Even if you think, oh, I might need my rift in 30 seconds, still do the rift. Because before you know it, you'll have a rift for the next encounter anyways, just because of how good the build is for ability regen. So you may as well do that. We've got other mods on our build to back up class ability regen, utility kickstart. Some armor mods on our gauntlets as well to give us... Look at our rift energy. We're almost back to it, right? I had my turret back so fast there that I could have done another one, but I didn't need to. There we go. I think that I can't mind what max heavy is on Edge Transit, but we're healthy now. Anyways, let's explain the double ogre section. Alright, we have an exotic primary that does DPS. We may as well do the mini exploit to take advantage of Outbreak, plus the fact that we don't need to keep teleporting between realms. In order to stop the castaway mechanic is to crouch on the stairs. Look, castaway happens, no teleport. Why? Because we've done the exploit where we crouch on the stairs. This has been in the game now multiple years, 2 to 3 years to my knowledge at least. We may as well do it, you know why? Because we can kill the Unstop and kill the Ogre, then TP to the Taken Realm, and then deal with it like that. You want to deal with the Hive Realm first, then the Taken Realm in the end. The reason for that is, if you do it the other way around, you're going to have to kill Arc Knights. Arc Boomer Knights, a lot of them. That will take 5 to 10 minutes extra on your run. 10 minutes extra on the course of a solo GM's a long time. So don't do it that way. You need to do Hive Realm, then Taken Realm. Hive Realm, Taken Realm. In order to speed that up, just do this. Crouch on the stairs and outbreak the boss to Oblivion, look. Now we are receiving damage range drop off, but the upside is we don't TP. There's no messing around between Darkness and Hive Realm, Darkness and Hive Realm. We're just in the Hive Realm, and we can keep stunlocking this Ogre over and over. We can hit him with velocity as well from here. Just about. So yeah, the goal is just to do that. I know we've got a super, we're sitting on one. I know we've got Transcendence. We don't need to use either of those abilities because we need them for the Taken Realm, which we're going to go to right now. There we go. Hive Ogre dies. We're going to go left and we're going to bait the Unstoppables. Now, the quicker way of doing that is left-hand side. Left-hand side, for me, is better because the Shriekers, yes, they spawn in when you kill the Hive Realm Ogre. You want to get a turret down here on left-hand side. Watch this spawn kill that we do right here. So look, the ads are coming up on the stairs. We're in a rift. We're going to pop our Transcendence and just pay attention to how many Transcendence snares. That's one. That's two, sorry. Right, so that's two thrown. We've thrown two Transcendence Nades. I believe my Rifts ran out now, though. So I'm not in one. So that's 3. We're going to pop a Rift here in a minute. We should at least. Maybe not. Maybe we're just focusing more on, yeah, champ damage. We could have done more Transcendence Nades there. I'm just pointing out that Transcendence Nades does work with Starfire when you stand in that Rift. But look at the melt that we did there. We took out all of the ads, which I wasn't bothered about the ads, but the ads just were in my way to kill the champs. My only goal was the champs. Then once that's done, right, it's a good bait that on the stairs. I recommend the melt on the stairs. Then we'll get another Emp Rift Dam, debuff with the GL, and now we're going to do some bait and switch, GL Edge Transit, melting, doing some good damage, plus Helion, the amount of Helion chunking we're doing. Like I said, someone the other day was saying to me, you know, Arxol's stronger than my build. It isn't. Arxol has less range than a Helion. Helion has more range. The solar turret has a more range, which means you can play back further in GMs. Well, not that I was specifically playing further back. I'm just saying that's an upside, right? Whereas sometimes you pop an Arxol and it's not working because of where you're standing. And now on the taken realm, what would be the point to push up there? We're not running a shotgun. We want to manipulate ads, do our damage, and get in, get out. It's not about whether we play from a range or not. We just inherently are because of map awareness and environment. I play to the environment. It doesn't matter about range to me. What matters is where is the cover? Can we utilize it? Especially on Rift builds, you want cover. You want to be able to manipulate left and right and be able to do your damage and get in and out rather than, you know, doing unnecessary movement. There was no unnecessary movement in this run, basically. There wasn't much, right? There wasn't really that much. So we've spawn killed our champs. We're going to go left hand side. This is also another good place to stand because we can deal with the unstops and do chain damage. So unstoppable champions are primitive apes. A lot of people praise the game for champions, but I know their ins and outs. I live with them 24/7. I know what their diet is, what their protein intake is, all this sort of stuff. And I know what they can and cannot do. They can't jump up to me now. Why not? I asked the question, why can the unstoppable not jump up here? Well, because it's not in his coding to do it, you see. We, as a player, can take advantage of this and just melt them from somewhere where they can't chase you. Which that was a good... Now look, we've still got Transcendence, so now, you see, this is strategy. We're using our back end of Transcendence. We're maximising it by... So we basically take out 3 champs with 1 Transcendence there. Look at the melt there with Outbreak. We only need to do 1 stun with Velocity, then it's all Outbreak. The solar turret will do stagger damage as well, whereas Arxol does not do stun damage. So when I refer to stun damage, what I mean is when you see an ad and they get stunned or knocked back, right? Well, when they get knocked back by some damage, some elements of sources of damage in the game do that, some don't. Arxol doesn't do it in the exact same way. Because Helion scorches targets, it eventually makes them ignite, which will also stun them. No, I'm not about champ stuns now. I'm on about stun damage to enemies, right? That's what I'm exactly on about. And I'm saying that my solar turret does more of that than what an Arxol turret would do. Simply because of that. And not only that, it's just nice to pair with Stasis turret. So you're freezing and you are igniting and scorching. This build would be very good with Icebreaker. It would be fantastic with Icebreaker. But I've already showed you an Icebreaker solo GM. So I didn't want to do that for this one. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to showcase my build off with some DOT. That was literally it. And get my solo out of the way. Because I haven't done a solo GM this week. Alright, so we're trying to do the manipulation here of the Overload champ. Where you do stun damage to him and then he falls off map. This is because the Overload champion that you are seeing before you is not coded to live on that island. This is confirmed. This is absolutely confirmed. I've spoken to coders about this. The Overlord does not know what to do. Look at that. He doesn't know where he is or what he... I've used my turret now, so that I'm kind of mad. That overload should have stayed up and I could have killed him. Because I've used a turret. I didn't want to use my turret there, man. Luckily, we're going to get our turret back quick enough, but I'm just saying. So look, as long as you stun him with some damage, you will get points for the overload. As long as you tag a champ and they fall off map, you still get plat rank. That is the that's the fail safe, so that you don't not get plat, right? Because that's no fault of yours as a player if a champ falls off map, right? It just isn't your fault. So this is a skip. We're gonna skip this section because it's absolute waste of your time. There's no champs. There is Banes, by the way, and there might be a Drain Bane. I don't know which Bane we get in it. Yeah, we've got a Drain Bane. There we go. So we're gonna pop a super at last second if we can to maximize ability energy because we need to run. It takes a third or maybe longer, more super, nearly about a third super to get to this champ. See what I mean? We've skipped the entire island and then we can just, at the back end of our Song of Flame, melt down the overload, right? And then we can turret. Be careful of the Minotaur behind you on the previous island. He can hit you in here, but if you push up, he won't. But yeah, look, we're in our rift. We've got another stasis turret back. We don't need it though. We don't need this build's broken. It's built. It is. It really is. It's OP, man. Look at the solar turret melting him. So yeah, we are close to Emp Rift. We need a rift for our Devour. It's part of my kit for when we start fighting the ads. It will be game over if we don't do a rift when we're standing up close. But look at rift energy. It's going up there. We've just about got it anyways. We are going to use a Transcendence on the first spawn. So the first two spawns, I'm going to take it slow. I'm just going to kill the ads as you see fit, as you see them. So that we can build up super energy and stuff. So Kali will go to the right. We don't need to go to the back island. You can absolutely play aggressive with this build. You can do the same with Lost Signal. So if you haven't got Velocity Baton, pop on Lost Signal. It will be the similar type of player. You'll be able to spam it. Maybe run a demo Lost Signal instead of the usual auto-loading Volper or auto-loading Vorpal. Maybe use a different one. There's different roles on that GL actually when you go and craft it. So look at this. We just melt all the ads with a Devour Kill chain plus standing near those stairs. We're close to super, but we haven't quite got super, which I would have supered the boss, but we haven't got it to use. So all I'm going to do is take down the boss's share, which takes 3 relics. Make sure that you hit if you don't pick up another orb. Get to the final relic. By the way, if you're low in power, this may take 4 orbs. So yes, this is power based. The higher in power that you are, the more damage your orbs do. The corrupted orbs, that is. So if you're below 2020, it might take you 4 or 5 orbs. That is absolutely true. So look, because I'm high in power, you see, I'm 2030, I'm quite high. So we get the boss down, the shield, that is. We're not going to push the boss at all. We're just going to start fighting the ads. Same thing. Rift, Stasis turret down. We have no Transcendence this time, but we do have plenty of GL, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I haven't had an ammo brick in ages, have you noticed? I'm still on 10 edge transit. That was kind of worrying, but I know that eventually, overwhelmingly, there'll be a chance for me to get heavy. Now look at this outbreak damage. Look at the outbreak damage that we're doing to Sedia. I don't know why I'm calling it Kali. Kali and Sedia are the same being to me anyways. They've got the same model. Look at that damage. So we send Sedia, try and do as much damage before immunity. There we go with outbreak. Then we've got 2 waves left and right, but we've got a Transcendence to pop. We can pop super if we want, but we don't want to because I want to use super for damage after add wave. But if it comes to it, I will pop super as an emergency if needed. But I didn't need to. Look at the positioning. We're rifting behind a corner, Devour Kill chaining, whilst having a demo Velocity Baton. We look at the chunking of the Transcendence nades. We just keep getting our That's stacking that. That's Demolitionist on Velocity Baton, stacking with Emp Rift, stacking with Starfire, stacking with Devour, because you get more grenade energy when you've got a Devour chain kill going on anyway. So all this stuff stacking so that we get more Transcendence nades. So in actual fact, my build has more Transcendence uptime than what your general stasis build would have, because I get more Transcendence nades, and that's given me more chunking of Transcendence bar energy back. Get it? Whereas generally, I've played stasis turrets since Final Shape launch, and I'm telling you, it hasn't been as good as now. Definitely, this is king. Apart from Rhymecoat Rhyment, that does take the cake. It does, because of how good it is when you stand in your stasis icicle area and you get those icicle formations with Rhymecoat Rhyment. And the chunking, you can do chunk damage, right, with Rhymecoat Rhyment. That's what makes it best. But if it wasn't for that, this would be the best. Second best. Right, 3 orbs, same thing again. Again, if you're lower in power, it's going to be 4 orbs. It might be 4 or 5, depending on what power level you are. I don't know what power level you are. I'm not Nostradamus. I can't predict everything about every single player that ever existed. But I can tell you, no, I'm higher in power, so it's only 3 shields, 3 orbs. So we get the shield break, and we're going to pop super. And now I should be debuffing him. I've debuffed now. There's the damage. We were a little slow on that super. You know why? Because we got knocked back. Because look, super's only 20%, 15%, 10%. We just get through. We want to have more super energy than that to jump through portal, because we have damage resist to run through while we still have super. That skips the ads. That skips the ads. Which, unfortunately, in Destiny 2, the meta is to figure out how to skip ads. It's not, what is the meta to kill ads? It's the meta is, how can we skip it to get a good time on a GM? The metric is time, which we got to stasis turret down at Embrace. Let me just talk about that for a minute. Okay, so the meta since Final Shape for Grandmaster Nightfalls, solo GMs in particular, the meta is how quickly can you do it solo, right, and post your run on YouTube. So this is pseudo speedrun content. Not me, I'm not saying I'm doing that. I'm just saying people are wanting pseudo speedrun content, which they're wanting basically speedrun-esque type runs. They don't have to be world record runs, but they want to see optimized runs with optimized builds. The problem that I have with that is that everybody's judging everybody else's solo GM depending on what time completion that they got. We can't just judge the game on that metric. This is not a metric that we should be judging solo GMs on. Because if it comes down to that, everybody should be a Prismatic Titan main then. Bungie just needs to delete Warlock and Hunter then. We may as well just go ahead and delete all classes and just have one uniformed subclass of Prismatic Titan. If it comes down to one metric of time, right, in a solo GM, that's no good. It's no good. People need to start being a little bit more open to interpretation on builds. They need to be a little bit more understanding of what people are exactly doing in the game, rather than being ignorant. I'm just saying, look, people, can you stop being ignorant about GMs? There's a lot of ignorance going around lately, and I think it needs to be dialed back. Because Prismatic Warriors, yeah, I'm a Prismatic Warrior as well. I'm on Prismatic right now. But I'm just saying, look, if Bungie does the right thing, they'll nerf Prismatic. Then what? Right? Because I was during the days when nobody solo GMs, and there was only 3 or 4 people in the entire community that would solo GM and upload one. So I'm from that time frame. Now, why is it people didn't upload solo GMs? Well, because they couldn't do them. Oh, but now they can. That then gives them a license to say, well, I can do it quicker than you. No, doesn't matter, right? Because if I can do the old GM solos, that's good enough for me, right? Because that was when the game was tougher. So if I can solo when it was tougher, then I can solo when it's easy, right? It doesn't matter. In actual fact, you should be a person thinking, damn, I wish I did solo a GM on the old ones. So in actual fact, you're at loss, not me. Anybody who never solo GMs in 2019/20, then it's your loss. You didn't solo the true GMs. You're soloing baby GMs. This is a baby GM. Hey, it makes no odds to me. As long as I can still get a video out, I'm not too bothered. But I'm just saying, look, these are baby GMs. Here's your baby GM guide. Here it is. Really easy. When we play the meta, really easy. Now, we can make the GM a lot harder by running bad builds. And you've saw me do this. That will make the GM harder. But even still, it's still not going to be as hard as what it once was. Okay, tips for the File Island. File Island, you want to spawn kill your scions as soon as possible. Get a Devour Chain kill going and kill them as quickly as possible. Once you kill them, you're calm. You're good. Now, we've got Super, which we need that as an emergency backup. I believe that you're gonna probably get a Drain Bane on this phase. Every time this week I've done this GM, I've always gotten a Drain Bane. It seems to be that there's weight gating for Banes on certain encounters. I've done GMs enough this season to know that now. So you get a Drain Bane on here nearly all the time, 9 times out of 10. So I've got to pop a Super, look. Have to pop the Super there. It doesn't matter though, because I have a strat for final phase anyways. Plus I'm still doing damage to the boss anyway, so it's not a waste. But we did need to pop Super for that Drain Bane there, else it would have been a death probably. And the boss would have stomped us. Cydia can stomp, and she will stomp you in the final phase. So be careful of knockback. Also, we're going to get a turret down, a Empowering Rift. We're just going to try and kill these ads as quickly as we can. While Cydia is chasing you, you need to be aware of that in final phase. You can't pitch up for too long. You can't pitch up for too long. You can pitch up for a little bit, then you need to do map rotation. You play the map rotation game. That's what you've got to do. So, we don't have Super because we've obviously just used it, but we've got a Transcendence, but I don't even think we need that. We just need to do a bait and switch DPS situation. So we need to do Outbreak, Velocity Baton, then switch to Edge Transit, and that will finish the boss off. Because there is 2 more captains. We don't want to kill those 2 captains. There will be too much of a nuisance. Look at that stomp. Look at the stomp that Cydia do. I know she doesn't even have feet, but look at the stomp. Man, she was pushing aggressive there, man, all of a sudden. Maybe this isn't a baby GM after all. Maybe it's a little bit more than I thought. So, we're on our final orb. We need to make sure we've got Rift. I can't mind exactly how I do this, but I'm pitching up to find where to do my bait and switch combo. Because that's all we need to do. And we're done. We win. As soon as we do our bait and switch GL on Edge Transit. We'll get a turret first. Yep. We'll wait for the boop. We'll get a Rift down. Boss comes for the boop. For the stomp with her feet. With her stilettos. We just do our bait and switch GL. Edge Transit. Boom. Easy. More than enough damage. By the way, it depends on your power level. If you're 20 or less, then your outcome, you need to play a bit more dramatic than what I did. But that was a solo GM on this for Corrupted. How to easily do it.